In this video, we're going to talk about how most salespeople do objection handling completely wrong and how you should do them if you want to make a lot of money. So in sales trainings, they're going to give you a long list of objection handles. The prospect says this, you respond with this objection handle. But these are terrible because they prevent you from adapting on the fly to real humans that you're talking to on calls. And how many times have you ever done an objection handle on a call and it's actually worked out for you the way that the objection handle document said it would? Basically never for me. When I would read these objection handles or memorize them, what would happen in real life is the prospect would be like, oh, I need to talk to my wife. And I'd be like, okay, read cookie cutter objection handle. And then they'd still be like, yeah, well, go fuck yourself, goodbye. And then they'd hang up the phone and I'd be like, oh, I'm a fucking loser. Right? That's how that plays out. They just do whatever they want. It's not like magical lines make them whip out their wallet or something, you know? Now, it does help you to know some basic frameworks to the common objections that you will get, but for the most part, you should do this instead because it works way better. First thing to know, most objections that you get are going to come down to one thing, and that is them just not being sure if they want to buy this or not. They have a lot of uncertainty and they are lacking trust. That is it. All objections are going to lead back to this in some way or another. If they were certain about this product, they would buy. No problem. That should seem obvious. So if you get an objection, it's because they're lacking trust. And when they are not sure about this, they're going to say like 10 different things that actually mean, I don't trust this. I need to talk to my wife. Well, let me think about it. I don't know about that price. I don't know if this is a good time, right? They're just going to make up some excuse. And what they're really saying is, I'm not sure if I want this, I'm not sure if this is good enough, and I'm not sure if this can solve my problem. There is a lack of trust. There is a lack of confidence in this. All objections come back to them not having enough trust, period. Every single one of them. And many times, why do they not have that trust? Either because the salesperson didn't give them enough information to make a confident decision in handing over the money, and you didn't do a good enough job in basically showing them how your product is going to solve their problems. It's one or the other. So what do? The first thing that you want to do is you want to find a list of basic objection handles. If you're on an offer right now, they probably already gave you one of these. You just need to have a basic idea of what to say whenever someone gives you a common objection. You don't want to memorize them. Okay, and quick note, the reason I don't like objection handles in general is because what many reps do is they just memorize these responses word for word, and it just makes it very robotic and unnatural. And like I said earlier, it never plays out in reality like the way the goofball sales training told you it would, right? You're talking to real people. You can't like predict what's going to happen or what they're going to say. So you just need to learn the basic idea of how to reply to the initial objections and then adjust that based on the person that you're speaking to. And you can only do this through practice and repetitions and being flexible. So you want to take the list and then put your own spin on it and try different ways of doing it with people on calls. Now, the second thing for you to do is you want to prevent as many objections as you can before they even happen. So what does this mean? If they are a good fit for your product, okay, they showed up to this call, all right, but they're still giving you an objection at the end of the call, it's because they are unsure and they don't have enough information to make a confident decision. So first you want to make sure you run the call properly, and you just need to get to the real reason that they got on the call. And you want to sell to their pain and show them how your product is going to solve their problem. And most salespeople are terrible at doing this. If you do that, that's the first step. And then next, before you pitch them and drop the price, you want to do something that's called a tie down. Now, what does this mean? After you've gone through the call and you've shown them how this product is going to bridge the gap from where they are now to where they want to be, it's going to solve their problem, you want to get them to agree with you about that. So an example of that would be, hey, John, after talking with all you about this, we've had a good call. I feel like you're a good fit. Do you see how this X product is going to get you from where you're at now to where you want to be while saving you time and effort? Something like that, right? And he says, yeah, I do. He agrees with you in some way. And also asking them after talking about all of this, is there any reason that you think this product isn't right for you? This is important as well. Is there any reason you think this wouldn't work for you? This is very important to ask, because unless you ask them this, They're not going to tell you that shit. And asking this question is going to reveal if they have any hangups about buying that they haven't told you about, and you want to know that before you drop the price. So asking these two questions are called tie downs, and they're extremely important when you pitch because they're going to prevent a lot of problems after you give them the price. It's just getting them to verbally agree or buy in with you. And the reasons I'm including tie downs in this objection handle video is just by asking these two things, you're going to know right away if they've been thinking about something the entire call in the back of their mind that's going to stop them from buying. That's going to cause them to object. So a prospect has to believe that a product is right for their specific situation. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's worked for 10,000 other people. They need to know, or you need to know that they believe it's going to work for them personally. Very important. And this is very common because most people have personal beliefs about themselves and their ability to succeed. Everyone thinks that they're unique and they have all these unique problems, which is total nonsense. But this is how the average human thinks. And they have all these mental hangups about success, especially beginners, right? So just because they've seen 100 testimonials of other people like them, they can still be like, oh, well, I don't think this will work for me specifically because I have this special issue or that special issue, which is total bullshit. It's just crazy. So doing these tie downs will help bring that stuff to the surface. And again, every single objection that you are going to get will come back to trust. If they trust the person that they are buying from and they believe that they trust that this product can help them specifically, none of the other issues matter. If they have the trust, they will find the money. They will convince the spouse. They will make the time, period. So any objection you get from someone is just an excuse to cover up why they don't have enough trust in the person that they are buying from or in the product helping them. Just remember that. Trust is the most important thing to have from someone if you want them to buy. And in other videos, I've talked about how you can gain and solidify that trust with people. You can do it with social media content. That is the first place. And just demonstrating that you or the company knows what they are talking about. You can send them pre-call sales assets. You can have other people who have gotten good results with this product, show them those results. You can run a really good sales call and just do a good job of showing them, hey, this will work specifically for you. This is going to solve your specific problem. Doing all of these things gains their trust. And an example, when I was selling for the fitness coach, I would get on calls with people who wanted to buy this $6,000 coaching program just because they liked the influencer and his content and they watched it every day. No other reasons. They would get on calls and be like, man, this guy's awesome. I love this content. And they'd just be ready to hand over money from just watching content, bro. No objections. Didn't matter if they were going to follow the program or not. Didn't matter if they were right for the program. They just wanted to buy because they liked the influencer and his content. That is the power of social media content. And many of these people, obviously, I had to disqualify them and be like, well, you're not really right for this program. I don't think you're going to do the work, and not sell to them. But you see what I'm saying? If they trust you or the person running the business, they're going to buy. Now, many businesses will have you send a pre-call sales asset, which I just mentioned a couple minutes ago. What is this? Usually it's going to be after someone schedules a sales call, you send them a short video or a document that is explaining in detail what you're going to talk about on the call and what the product is. Who is it for? Who is it right for? And doing this, and who is it not right for? And doing this is going to prevent a lot of people that are not good fits from getting on the call in the first place. So you get way better qualified sales calls and more closes. Now, you can also give people, I don't really like to do this, but you can also give people the price in the pre-call sales asset. You only want to do this if you have a shitload of traffic, like more qualified leads than you can handle. This is what the price is, and when you do that, it's going to weed out anybody that has an issue with the price. So again, you get even more qualified sales calls and leads. This is becoming more common these days, and like I said, you need to have the traffic to do this correctly. And I don't really like to do this, but it does work, and it's going to weed out anybody who has an issue with the price. And when you get on the call, they already know what it is, and they're not going to be blindsided when you're like, hey, it's $7,000. And they're like, oh, I thought it would be $300, right? Shit's so annoying. But everyone you talk to knows what the price is already. And if they get on the call, they clearly don't have an issue with it. Now, this is going to depend on the business that you're selling for and how they do this, but that's one way to do it. Next, when you go over objection handles and you are getting familiar with what some basic typical responses are, just remember that it all comes back to trust. You need to remember this one thing. If they had the trust and it was right for them, they would buy. There's no other way that this plays out in reality at all. So when you were responding with an objection handle, just keep that in the back of your mind and think, okay, why are they objecting? Why are they giving me this bullshit excuse? You know, why does this person not have the trust? Did I mess up somewhere in the call? Did I not give them information here? Did I not get to the root reason? And the way you figure all this out is just by asking more questions. The best closers will keep someone on the phone and keep asking them questions until they get the person to open up and give them the real reason why someone is not buying. Why do they not have the trust? Why are they giving you objections? Because like we talked about, if they say, oh, I need to talk to my wife, that's fucking bullshit. You know it and I know it. They don't need to talk to their fucking wife. They're just lacking some trust somewhere and you need to figure out why. And you do that by asking them questions until you get to the root reason, the real reason why they are objecting. And most closers, this might sound stupid, but I review calls all the time and no closers do this. They don't ask any questions. They get the first objection and they tuck their fucking tail and they run away. So if you're sitting there like, that's stupid, you're probably one of them. Maybe you should finish the video. And most closers don't do this. They get the first no or the first objection and they just crumble. They're like, oh, would you like to schedule a follow-up? Okay, bye. You need to get comfortable hearing the word no, even if that's like 40 fucking times. And then digging into why are they telling you no over and over. Do not let the word no faze you. The best closers are the ones who will just I'll just keep someone on the phone. They'll say no, I'll ask another question. Like, I'm not hanging up. You can hang up. I'm gonna ask you 90 fucking more questions. And we gonna get to the reason, right? You got the balls to do that? I got the fucking balls to do that. The best closers will just keep someone on the phone and keep asking them questions until they get to the real reason that this person doesn't have enough trust to buy. And again, this is all coming from the foundational standpoint that they are a good fit for the product. Once you get someone to open up to you and tell you the real deal about why they're hesitating on buying, now you can resolve that with them. You basically just solve the problem by getting them to open up to you. Now you can solve the problem together, but you have to stay on the phone and get comfortable hearing no and comfortable working through objections and just be willing to ask questions and get them to open up and be honest with you. This is how you handle objections, by getting someone to be honest with you and having real conversations with you about the real, genuine reason they are hesitating, why they don't have the trust to buy, right? You have to figure that out. It's not by memorizing a bunch of objection handles you bought from some stupid fucking sales training. So it really doesn't matter if you've memorized every correct response to every objection that some sales training told you, hey, this is the right way to do it. It's not the right way to do it. The main point is that you have to get the person, the human being, to tell you the real reason that they are hesitating, and no sales training can predict every human being's response for you. Okay? You need to figure out why this specific human does not have the trust to buy. You have to get that, or you cannot resolve it. And this is what elite closers know how to do. No one else is giving you this information. If you want to stack money, this is what you should do. That's the end of the video. If you want my help getting a closer role or a setter role, there's links in the description. Until next time.